Hey everybody, welcome to Drive Through 311 Take 2. Today we're going to talk about Coin Age. Now this is a new micro game from Tasty Minstrel Games. It was kickstarted last year, I think. And if you can see, it doesn't actually come in a box. It comes in an envelope. And most of their new micro games are coming in an envelope. So what is Coin Age? Coin Age is a two-player area control game, but all you really need to play the game is the change in your pocket. What players will do is they'll sort of roll up a bunch of change and then flop it down onto the table. And the game that I have, for the edition that I have, is a Kickstarter edition. So it comes with 4 different maps and a little credit card map, but you really can just kind of draw your own if you really wanted to. And what you're going to be doing is placing these coins out onto the little map and trying to control the different areas and whatever face of value you have at the end of filling up the map or running out of your coins is going to be the amount of points that you get. Now here you can see all the components that you get in the game. You've got some cardboard tokens, some stickers, couple of maps. If you want to, you can use the stickers and put them on some real change, or you can just use heads or tails from your pocket change. If you notice on the included cardboard tokens, you've got a gold side and a silver side. The gold side says the Royal Kingdom of Heads, and the silver side says the People's Republic of Tails. And as I said earlier, the game comes with 4 maps. These maps show a variety of terrain, but the terrain doesn't really do anything special other than to delineate regions, and you're going to be scoring regions at the end of the game once everybody has played out all their turns. And here you can see the base map represented on a credit card, so all you can really do is just throw this credit card map in your wallet and you're good to go as long as you got some change. Each player is going to take an equal distribution of coins. You can see here each player's got 1 4, 2 3s, 3 2s, and 4 1s, or 1 quarter, 2 nickels, 3 pennies, and 4 dimes. You're going to flip a coin to see who goes first, and then players are going to alternate turns. On your turn, you're going to take one of each type of coin, so 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, and 1 4. But if you don't have any of a particular coin, let's say you've already used up your 4, then you just take whatever you have. You're going to shake up all those coins and either slap them down or gently lay them down if you've got the cardboard tokens. And then you're going to take actions based on which coins match your particular color or side. So based on the number of matches, let's say you matched 4 of your side, you could place 2 coins or pay 1 to place 3 out onto the map. If you do have to pay 1, you have to pay one of yours that matched your side and give that one to the other player. If you match 3 of your side, you can place 2. The same if you match 2, you can also place 2. If you only matched 1, you can place 1 and move. And if you didn't match any, then you can capture and move. So as you start to place these coins out onto the map, you're obviously going to run out of them. And you've only got 1 4 and 2 3s, for example, and those are going to be your big hitters. They're also going to be your biggest target. So that's something you got to keep in mind when deciding how to sort of approach and encroach on these different areas. Now when you go to place coins on the map, you can put them on an empty space, or you can place a smaller coin on top of any larger coin. So in our example, let's say the gold player had played 3 coins, a 1, a 2, and a 3, then the silver player could come along and cover that 3, for example, with their 2. Now when the game ends, the topmost coin of each stack is going to score that player whatever the indicated points are. It's not the greatest idea in the world to place your 4 out there. You've only got 1 of them, first of all, and that's going to be a prime target to get covered up by your opponent. The game's going to end when one player runs out of all their coins, or when the final space on the map is covered, then the game is going to end immediately. If one of your available actions is to move, you can take any stack and then move it to an adjacent space. If your ability is to capture a coin, you take the top coin of any stack and then you add it in your possession to possibly roll later. Now that is pretty much how you're going to play the game. Now there's 2 end-game scorings that are going to happen. One, you get 1 point for each coin left in your possession, and you're also going to score double for a region. So if a region is made up of 3 spaces and you control it, which means you have the top coin in the most regions or most spaces in that region, you're going to score double. So if a region is 3 spaces and I control 2 of those and you can only control 1, I'm going to add up the top value of mine and then double it. That's a big part of the game and a big part of the information that's going to inform your strategy. Now, confession time, this is actually the second video I've made of this game, and I played it wrong 15 times. And the thing that I missed, which nobody else in the world is going to miss except for me, is we were rolling all the coins and throwing them out and then playing from there. So most of the time we were rolling 4 and 3 and, you know, sometimes 2. And then as you would run out of coins, you would sometimes roll 1 or 0, but not as often as you do if you play it by the right rules. So we actually debated it, and that's actually a variance. That's all I'm going to say is, like, it worked, and it kind of worked well, and it was kind of different. But we talked about it today at lunch. I played it 5 more times today, and we said, nah, the way it's written is much better. So the interesting thing about this game is the beginning of the game versus the end of the game. Now, the game was only going to take a couple of minutes, but there's a real transition there, which is very interesting, because after you play it, you're like, okay, well, let me try something else. And so I'll roll the coins, and I'll put out, okay, I put out 1 and a 2, and I don't really want to hold back my 4, but maybe sometimes I'll put the 4 out there as a little bit of a bait. And so sometimes you can just choose not to do part of your action, because all your actions are optional, and you can do them in any order that you want. So as you kind of get down there towards the end of the game, you've got to be very careful not to set up victory for your opponent, and that adds an interesting dynamic. But the kind of the way that you get there is going to be pretty different, you know, every time that you play, because you can tinker. Like I said, you can put out a 2 and a 3, or I can just put out my, you know, my dime or my 1 all the time, and kind of just lock those regions down, because once that 1 is on there, it's sort of locked unless the 1 gets moved or captured. But you don't usually capture 1, at least we haven't been. You know, we capture whatever the biggest number is and pull it off of there. So it does have this sort of emergent quality where, you know, emergence kind of meaning like, well, let's try this. And you can try and tinker with different strategies. And the maps, the different, you know, region sizes are going to be interesting, because you can move into a region with a move action, and then now I have control of the region. Now I'm doubling all these points, and you were getting 4, now I'm getting 8. And, you know, you can have some shifts there. So you've got to kind of watch it, and it has some luck with the, you know, the coin shaking part of it. So it's very, very interesting in that way, that it has this amount of, you know, tinkering that you can do within such a short time frame. It's really cool. So it's perfect for like the pub. You can take it to a bar, a restaurant. We played at lunch at the lunch cafeteria there at work, and it's perfect for that. You know, definitely I would take a look at it. This is definitely going to stay in my collection. We have a lot of fun with it, and it has those kind of dramatic things at the end where it's like, okay, I'm going to push it a little bit. I know he's only going to roll that 1, you know, dime, or the dime and the penny. I'll hope he gets a certain type of roll, and then if he does, then now it's back on me to roll and get the, you know, so there is that luck, but it sets up a little bit of drama there at the end of the game, and which is really cool, because it's such a just a tiny game, but there is some interesting, you know, maneuvering with it. So anyway, thanks.